Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of The Legend of Zelda, The Wind Waker. We are entering the Tower of the Gods. In our last episode, we put all three pearls in their place and were able to open the way forward. And the King of Red Lions told us that the Tower of the Gods is the place where the gods tested mortals to see if they were worthy. So we're to test ourselves to see if we are indeed worthy. This dungeon is pretty straightforward. Out of all the ones we've done so far, I want to say this is probably the easiest one in terms of it's not that long, and like I said, it's pretty straightforward. In this first room, chamber, I guess you can call it whatever you want. We see that the water goes up and down. The water level rises. And, nope, that's not what I meant to do. We have these holes here. And obviously something goes in them. And then we have these switches where if you stand on them, the door opens. But if you step off of it, it closes. So we have these statues scattered around the area, and we can use them to our advantage to open the way forward. So here we have another type of choo-choo that we haven't seen before, the golden choo-choos. And these guys, well, they're kind of crappy because they electrocute you and they follow you relentlessly, but they don't really give you anything good, to be honest. I think they just give you red chew jelly, so it's not like they even give you golden chew jelly, which you would expect from them, but they don't. So in this area, we want to place this block right there, which is going to create a bridge across. But since the water level is ever changing, obviously when the water level rises, the bridge is going to disappear. That's actually not a big deal because what we want to do is so I think we can and let's climb out. Well, actually, I don't have to jump across. I was going to use the boxes to jump across, but that's kind of stupid since when that thing goes down, it's going to open the bridge. So let's walk across, and let's grab this guy. And I don't think I'll make it in time, so I totally could have made it. But there's no rush. So once the bridge reappears, we'll walk across. And as you can see, the base of this little statue is very similar to that hole we saw earlier. So we're definitely going to be placing it right here. Neat. So we have a few things we can do. We can actually go that way, and we might as well, since we just opened it up. Let's see what's over there. But first, let's check out what's over here. Some of these, I don't remember which rooms, you actually don't have to go in them. Some of them are just, they just have a little treasure. But most of the treasures in this particular area of the dungeon are guarded by yellow choo-choos, and those guys are a pain in the butt, and I think this is one of those rooms. So, just want to get rid of this as quickly as I can. Climb up here, and let's place a bomb. And get out. And let's climb up. I forget which of these gaps it is. Okay, so there are 2 treasure chests, I think. I think there's another treasure chest back there. So what I want to do is grab this and pull it about halfway and climb on top. And from here, I want to throw a bomb. And I missed. So, yeah. That kind of stinks. I think it might just be easier if I push it all the way. No. Let's just climb back up. There we go. Oh, that was a mistake. That's not what I meant to do at all. Oh. There's nothing worse than being electrocuted while you're in the water. So if you want all the stuff that's in the vases scattered around here, you might want to grab them before you grab this treasure chest. Because grabbing the treasure chest up here, if I can ever climb up, is going to release a bunch of chews. A bunch of chews. Oh, man. A bunch of choo-choos. So, yeah, that was the dungeon map, and... Oh, come on, I didn't make it in time. Oh, this is bad. Oh, yeah, this is bad. This is all kinds of bad. That's okay. We're just gonna wait. Make it in time. Roll through. Nope, you can't roll. Gotta get out of here quickly. So we got the map. I guess that's cool. Totally worth it. But let's move on, shall we? And if we can make it in time before the water goes down, beautiful. So here we have more of these statues, and we're going to place them on top of the switches. And yeah, this is going to be a pain in the butt. But actually, if you're careful, you can actually make it across without really having to move around any of the boxes. But if you're so inclined, you can actually I like to move this middle one over just a touch. Just a touch. To make it one straight line that I don't have to do any sideways or diagonal jumping. So we're going to break the vase, get a Deku stick lit, and hop across, light the torches, and then, yeah, there are going to be yellow choo-choos that are going to fall from the sky, the ceiling, because that's just the kind of level this is. So as soon as the water starts rising, whenever it decides to, let's do it. And that's it. We get ourselves a chest, and when we open it, we get the small key. And there they are. And of course, they land on the boxes. But if you're dumb like me, you'll jump into the water and get electrocuted. I didn't get electrocuted, thankfully. We made it out of here in time. Well, we have what we came for on this side of the large chamber. So let's move on and head over to the opposite end. And eventually what we want to do is stop that water from coming out of that statue's mouth, because that's really what's preventing us from being able to proceed. And so I'm just going to wait here till the water goes back. So here you'll see another another hole in the ground, meaning that we're going to need to put something there. But I got distracted because here we have a new enemy that we've never faced before. The bubbles. And yeah, you can't hurt them with the boomerang. So what you have to do is blow out their magical fire with your leaf. That's kind of cool, right? Yeah. Yay. Alright, you might see that eyeball on the wall. There's nothing we can do with that just yet, but we will remember where this, where that is, because we will be using it in the future. So we're going to wait until the water level is down, and we're going to light this Deku stick on fire and light those two torches down there. Lighting those two torches creates this treasure chest. Well, I guess makes it appear, doesn't create it, and we have ourselves a joy pendant. Now, I know I said earlier that the joy pendants are pretty much useless from now on, and I said that because in the GameCube version, that is actually quite true. But in this upgraded Wii U version, that is not true at all, and we actually want to collect more joy pendants. I think I need 40 total. Because one of the things that they changed in this version is that you can actually get more stuff out of that Madame whatever her face was. I was gonna say Madame Curie, the discoverer of the X-ray. No, that's not her name. Madame Marie. Is it Marie? Who cares what her name is? If you give her 40 joy pendants, I think she gives you a treasure chart, which is unique to the Wii U version, whereas the GameCube version just gave you. But it wasn't worth your time, believe me. We'll take our statue and we'll place it in its hole, and that's going to stop the water flow from that particular mouth, giving us access to the main temple. This guy is going to harass us unless we kill him, so let's just get that over with. And if we're quick enough, we might be able to make it. Are we going to be quick enough? Yes, we are. Say goodbye to the King of Red Lions because we won't see him for a while. Okay, we have those guys. I forgot what they're called, but if you've played Zelda games in the past, BMOs, that's what they're called, BMOs, and we hate them. We hate them very much. And the reason we hate them is because they shoot lasers. And all you can do is run away from them. Because I don't think you can kill these guys. Well, not equipped as we are. You might remember from Ocarina of Time that if you throw a bomb at them and hit them that way, you can kill them. I do not believe that is the case in this particular game. But once all 3 switches have been activated, we can take the elevators and move on. And hopefully you killed the rats, otherwise you're going to have rats to deal with. I'm not really sure why this is even a thing. Nothing be gotten from it. Oh, good job. Could you be more of an amateur? Alright, we are in the central room of this dungeon. And there are 3 doors, 2 of which are barred, and that leaves us with only one way out. Well, not out, but forward. So, let's head through the glowing door. And we're instantly greeted by one of these stupid creatures. Let's take a look over there. Yeah, that's another eye. You'll notice that's the second one we've seen. Be careful when fighting these chews because your parry move will actually light up as if you could use it. But since they have that electric shield around them, there's really nothing you can do with your parry move. Alright, right in front of us we have a stone tablet. This is my favorite part of this game, I'll tell you that right now. You actually say, "Come on," to the statue. And when you call the statue over, it'll follow you. And you just have to guide it along this little path. Don't get too far ahead of it or it will actually stop following you. And you can also pick it up and you can throw it. So throw it across the gap, and apparently if it falls off the cliff, it counts as if you fall off the cliff. So yeah, about that. Yeah, you can't carry it either. You have to actually call it and have it follow you. So apparently the correct choice was not pick up and throw. The correct choice, not pick up and throw. The correct choice is actually pick up and jump across. So we'll do that instead. And once we reach this room, he'll walk off on his own. He knows where he needs to be. By placing that first statue here, it should give you a hint of what we need to do to progress through the rest of the room, of the dungeon, I mean. But before we do so, we are about to learn a song. So if we check out this tablet that appeared, we see left, center, right, center. There appear to be markings that indicate specific directions. Well, let's bust out the wind baton. So we need to change the time. You remember that by moving your finger, you actually can conduct time. So let's move it up to 4/4 time, and left, center, right, center. And this is the new song that we've learned, the command melody. By playing the command melody, we have a speech here from the statue. My kin wait beyond the doors, control them, and guide them to their places of truth to open the path to the gods. So this is going to open up a little bit of a new gameplay mechanic. You can call the statue over, you can pick the statue up, but what if you're not close enough to the statue itself? How can you control it? Well, with the command melody, of course. We need to head over to the other side of this gap, but it's being guarded by stupid bubbles. So we really can't just make our way across. It's going to be dangerous. There. That was easy enough. Let's swing across. Yeah, we need to go this way first. Take a big swing and make it across. So here we have this room. swing across here. Come on. So we've called the second statue over. Right? Neat. But wait a second. How are we supposed to get across? Well, we can step on the switch and we create a bridge. Well, if we go across, then the statue's stuck here. So what we need to do is step on the switch ourselves, take control of the statue, and walk across the gap. Now, this guy is super slow. Super slow. But that's okay. Once he's on that side, we can make the bridge disappear, and we actually have the means to cross without the bridge. So once again, we have no way of getting this guy across. So what we need to do, well, I was going to say it, but the King of Red Lions is going to say it instead. Link, it is I, the King of Red Lions. I am afraid there are some areas to which you will not be able to bring the servants of the tower. But do not fear leaving them behind. Once you have awakened them, they will wait patiently for your return. Of this, I assure you. Well, basically, that was basically what I was basically going to say. It's okay if you leave them there because they won't go anywhere. So what we need to worry about is just jumping this gap, because by them being on top of that switch, we can come in here. Oh, and we have ourselves our first encounter with the Dark Nut. First of all, let me reiterate that I love this sub-boss music. It's one of my favorite in the whole game. And let me just say that the Dark Nut battle is one of my favorite battles in the entire game. I love this enemy. This guy actually takes strategy to beat. You can't just go in swinging because he's wearing tons of armor, and he's wearing two sets. He's wearing head and chest. And what we need to do is, if you saw the back, he's got a red rope or thread holding the armor together. So what we need to do is parry attack behind him, and it'll make him lose his armor. Now, when he loses armor, he becomes faster. Just be warned of that. Now, you might be thinking, well, why not just hit him with the boomerang? Well, while he's wearing a helmet, the boomerang is of no use. Now, these guys are excellent fighters. Even after you take away his helmet and his armor, he is still a very formidable foe. But now that he doesn't have those items, we can actually stun him, take away his knight's crest, and stun him with the boomerang, and spam the attack button. Now these guys are tough. Like I said, it's going to take a lot of sword swings to finally defeat him. But they're really not ultra tough. Now if you're having a bit of a hard time beating him, draw him closer to the pillars and have him with one sword swing destroy the pillars. Just a taste of how strong these guys really are. They can actually swing this sword with ease. You can tell it takes Link a little bit of effort to do so. Right now they just give me rupees, but more importantly, The item in this treasure chest. The hero's bow. So for right now, we can carry up to 30 arrows. Now this is such a good item. Let's equip it to X. Actually, let's equip it to R. But we do need, actually, I do need the leaf. Now, I could go ahead and kill the bubbles now that I have the bow. You can kill them with the bow. You couldn't kill them with the boomerang. But I'd rather just blow them out and have them fall into the endless pits. And as with all items that you can use in first person, you can move around with the bow. And by shooting the platform with the bow, the eye with the bow, you create these movable platforms, allowing you to cross back over and hanging out with your friend there, who, as the King of Red Lions said, was waiting patiently for us. Now, I know these guys are good guys and everything, but that doesn't stop them from being creepy when they look at you with their face. So the second Stone Guardian is going to make his way to his platform, and he is going to open the next door for us. So we are now able to go to the third and final door, and there's one more Guardian to get, clearly. So let's go get him. And things are going to take a turn for the tougher around here. I'm not saying it's extremely hard, I'm just saying it is going to be a little bit tougher, because now that we have the bow, we're going to be introduced to a whole bunch of new enemies. And a couple of them are no fun. No fun at all. So, here we have a puzzle that, if you've never played this game before, but you have played Twilight Princess, you will recognize. And like I said in a few episodes ago, I don't mind it when they reuse certain puzzles. I don't mind it at all. So this is the scale puzzle, which we're going to tackle in a second. But before we do that, I want to come up here. And this is a bit of a pain in the butt kind of room. Yeah. With our Deku Leaf, we're going to make our way across all these platforms. Equipping the bow. Okay, the reason I equip the bow to R is because it's easier for me to aim and shoot at the same time. It's a little harder to do so when I'm using my thumb to press X or Y, and I also need... As I was trying to say before I did that, because I use my right thumb to move the camera around, And if I equip the bow to X or Y, I'm also using my thumb. Makes it a little bit difficult to aim and shoot at the same time. Wow, that was close. So that's why I like to equip my bow to R, so that I can aim and move around and shoot at the same time. But that's just me. If you are comfortable doing it a different way, by all means, do whatever it is that you want to do. All right. We'll take the next elevator onto the next platform and get rid of that guy. I missed it. The last eyeball that you need to hit in order to make the treasure appear is actually right above the entry door. Wow. My aim is terrible. There we go. I don't know if it's just me, but it seems like the arrows take a bit of a... They kind of curve as they're flying through the air. Could be wrong. Yeah, I'm not in the mood to do all that to get out of here, so... Let's just float back to the entrance of the room. We got the small key, which was a necessary item, and we can make our way back to the scale puzzle room. Hopefully the bats did not reanimate, which is good. So what we're going to do is jump down here. Put that there. Equip the bombs. And if we're super careful, you can, I think, place the bomb on the edge. And no, you can't. So you actually do have to throw it. I was kind of hoping that would be a thing. All right. Let's go through. Completely optional side room here. And we have the Armos statues, which are gigantic. But what you want to do is take them on one at a time. When you get close enough, they will awaken. I'm wrong. When you play the song, yeah, you have to play the song. You check and it looks like a wind, blah, blah, blah. Play the wind song, the Requiem of the Wind or whatever. And there'll be a treasure chest. And it'll bring the statues to life. So, while you can avoid them, it's not that difficult to beat them. So when they stop moving, you throw a bomb in their mouths, and then they spin around like a bunch of crazies, and then they die. And usually as a reward, they'll drop bombs, which is nice because you use bombs to kill them, and it's just really polite of enemies to provide you with the items necessary to kill them. I think that's quite proper for any enemy to do. So we'll grab some bombs, we'll grab some rupees, and of course we'll grab some arrows because we need them for this level, being that we just got the bow. And we got ourselves another treasure chart. And I know I said it's an optional thing, but it's really not. You want to get all the treasure charts. We can't open this treasure chart yet because we're actually indoors. So in order to move forward, we need to jump across. But Link is too heavy. So every time he stands on one of these, he makes it fall. And so we need a counterbalance. And apparently those gigantic stone statues, I mean, I'm assuming these are made of stone. Maybe they're made of clay and they're not as heavy as they look. I need two. Actually, don't I? So 2 stone statues weigh more than Link. But, again, I don't understand how a stone statue can weigh as much as a child. So let's just pretend they're not stone and they're actually, clay, like I was saying. Whatever the case, if we put 2 statues on one side, Link can then hop across. And, I mean, the room pretty much spells it out for you. You need to sail across. There are lasers there. And even in this world, you can't go through the lasers. You can't. But guess what? The statues can go through the lasers because, well, they're non-organic, and apparently those lasers only work on organics. That's what we're going to go with. Okay, if I'm not mistaken, we're about to encounter one of the most annoying enemies in the game. I am not mistaken. Meet the Wizrobe. He's a toucan that uses magic. And he's annoying because he'll disappear and reappear across the room. And this guy, he only did 2 locations. But eventually they're going to get really annoying and they're going to be all over the place. And they're really easy to kill with arrows. There was a submarine a few episodes ago that I went in and I immediately left. Because that room, that particular submarine, is full of Wizrobes. And these Wizrobes that we're first encountering, they're your, garden variety Wizrobe. They'll appear, they'll shoot a fireball at you, and then they'll disappear. And that's all fine and good. However, later on, some of the Wizrobes will actually summon other lesser enemies to fight with them. And that can include anything up to mini blins, or bokoblins, or other Wizrobes. And they can become an incredible pain in the butt. And you can kill them with the sword. It's not like you can only kill them with the arrows. But it is a lot easier to kill. I mean, you saw it only takes 2 hits with a bow, while it takes a lot more hits with your sword. So that's why I left that submarine and I decided to tackle it later until we had the bow, which we do have now. So, I mean, we're going to be able to take care of that submarine after this dungeon is complete. But I'm getting way ahead of myself. As you can see, we've managed to bring the stone statue across. With all 3 stone statues in their place, the way forward is opened. And I think we're going to cut it here. And in the next episode, we're going to finish the second half of this dungeon. So I hope you'll join me next time for the next episode of The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker. See you guys next time.